I'm Sandra Rupp, and I'd like to thank 65 countries for watching. Thank you so much. I call my show Conscious Capitalism Meets Entertainment Tonight. I've been to events where I've met Donald Trump. I've been to events where I've met Mitt Romney. You know, some points in history you need a Republican president. At some points in history you need a Democratic president. Right now it's a very unique time in history. We need someone who understands both sides of the table. I have sat next to Donald Trump and Melania at 21. Melania's a very elegant lady. She has a heart. She's kind-hearted. You can see that. She's beautiful. She's stunning. I would encourage the Pope to reach out to the Trumps. I think that Donald and Melania would love to visit. I've had the private tour of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican. Recently, there was a breakfast at the World Economic Forum for CEOs. When those 40 CEOs were asked who would win, every single hand went up for the Democratic potential nominee, Hillary Clinton. I think a lot of people are afraid he'll be elected because they realize what an innovator he is. But sometimes that's what you need, is you need someone to go in there and to kind of shake up the system to the point where it's a total rethink, okay? Think different. One of the reasons that people are so interested in Donald Trump in America is because he is not taking money from any corporation or any bank. My father was CEO of a media company, and I will look forward to the debates between the Republican nominee and the Democratic nominee. I will be all ears. But the most important topic for me will be innovation and good job creation. I believe the unemployment rate is closer to 30%. I'm very upset about it. And I also would be happy to advise any of you on this topic because I think there's a real misunderstanding going on right now. I'm not sure why, but we need to create jobs where people can live, okay? We need to raise the minimum wage. There are a lot of things we may need to do that may not fit either political party. Or he's not going to send his vice president. He's not going to send his secretary of state. Donald Trump is going to want to come to the World Economic Forum. I think that voting for Donald Trump will be a step forward for women's rights. Donald actually helped me and Piers Morgan get women into Augusta. We know that Donald has been good to women in his company. There have been articles about it. This is a very positive point when it comes to business women. There are also a lot of women out there who frankly want job creation for their children and grandchildren, and they will go for Donald Trump for that reason alone. We even have a Davos CEO pledge for CEOs who want to pledge to bring 2 or more female delegates to the World Economic Forum next January. I think there's room for improvement in many areas, including healthcare, Planned Parenthood, the economy, immigration. I'd like to see Donald Trump build some departments of peace. I would love to be an advisor to Donald Trump because I think I could come out with a lot of really interesting ideas that he might embrace. I mean, Donald is a very creative man. That Donald is listening. I also would like to invite Donald Trump to interview with me on camera. If you look at some of the CEOs that are most admired right now, they have a feeling side, and it's a really important point. Donald Trump is the kind of person who's very inclusive. He's a family man. One of the biggest tragedies in America was the deregulation of the banks and the Glass-Steagall Act. 2002 and 2008 combined. There are a lot of people out there in the millennial generation, as an example, who have very high college debts. If you're going to increase the pay of your chief executive officer by 27+%, I want to know how much you're increasing the pay of the women employees in your company. 90% of female-founded companies are shockingly one-person companies. A lot of women will vote based upon their feelings in the United States because if you look at the Myers-Briggs personality test, 70% of women in America are actually feelers. He has promoted his daughter to an executive vice president level position. His former wife, Ivana Trump, was actually the president of his hotels and casino. He was very good at promoting women. We saw in The Apprentice he had an executive level woman who was lovely on that show. These are the kinds of women that people admire, and there are some women out there who are more sharp-elbowed and different style, but that is not the style of Melania or Ivanka, and I think that's attracting some women to his campaign. It's a very important point. We also see him doing well nationally with blue-collar men. I understand people. I've hired the right executive for the right company. Donald Trump may be the right president for the right time. I am the 11th great-great-granddaughter of the Reverend William Brewster, who came over on the Mayflower. I'm sure Donald Trump would have a bridge as well for people that want to come into the country legally. I would encourage Donald Trump and his followers to keep moving forward. I personally do not believe in abortion for myself, and I would not vote on that issue. My main issue is innovation and job creation, certainly, because I see so many people suffering right now. I like people who are willing to innovate. You know, a lot of the most successful people on the planet, they innovate, they make mistakes, they start over, they express their feelings, and they keep going. Okay, the key is to just keep moving forward. I have said to the World Economic Forum that I believe that investing in the feminine leadership style is actually the largest economic opportunity worldwide, and they placed me on the cover of the Davos debates that year. So I would say to all the women out there to embrace your femininity, embrace your kind-heartedness, because we need a lot more of it out there in the world. I named my company after the Parthenon in Greece, dedicated to Athena. She was the goddess of wisdom and knowledge. She was also the helper of heroes. And by the way, Greece was the birthplace of democracy. All I'm saying right now is that we need the right person at the right time. He's an innovator, much in the same way that Apple has innovated. I think they have actually a lot more in common than they are different, so I would just encourage them to meet. One of my first mentors was the amazing Al Massini, and Donald, you probably have met him at some point in your life in New York. He was an amazing man. He created Entertainment Tonight, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. So make America great again. Follow that Trump train. I think you're doing great, Donald, and congratulations on South Carolina. I'll look forward to seeing the results here in Florida. Stay tuned. You can subscribe at Career Expert on YouTube and follow my tweets at Exec Career Coach. You can also follow me on WordPress, as well as Blogger and Google+. You can follow my Davos blog at sandrarupp.wordpress.com.